Hi Queens, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Jessica and I post videos on all things women, all types of topics. This week, after we discuss our topic, what I've been doing is reading a question from my book that I picked up on Amazon. This is not sponsored or anything. I just wanted to share this because I find that this book, 3,000 Questions About Me, is super interesting. And this week I've been reading a couple of questions after my topics on the videos. So we'll continue that today. Today's topic is judgment. Have you ever been judged? I've been judged. I've been judged a lot, but more specifically at work. So I wanted to share this story with you about I've been judged about a couple of things, but the one thing that stands out to me because it keeps coming up is I am judged for not having children or my choice not to have children. I know that a lot of women that I work with, the majority of the women that I work with or have worked with, they have children. You know, they have families and they have beautiful families. But a few years ago, I want to say in 2015, I started working at this new unit. And after we went for training, a group of us went to lunch, right? And so we're sitting around the lunchroom, and there were about maybe 8 of us, females, and it was only one male. And so we're sitting down, having lunch, and everybody's, sharing, about their lives and if they're married or have children, etc., etc. So when it was my turn, I said, well, I don't have really much to share. I have no children. I am not married. And they were like, oh, you have no children yet. There was this one particular person that was like, she was so annoyed by me. And she was like, you mean not yet? And I said, no, I don't have children. I don't plan on having children. And she was like, but you mean not yet? And she kept saying that. And I was like, no, I have no interest in having children. And she was like, but you're so young. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Children are a blessing. And she was so offended by my reaction, or by my answer, I should say. She was very offended. And I was like, well, why are you offended? And she was like, I'm not offended. I'm just, you're a female. You're supposed to have kids. And I thought that that was the most ignorant answer that she could have given me. And the reason why it bothers me is because, where is it written that every single female that's born into this world is born to procreate and have a family of her own? There are women who can't have kids. So are they judged? I don't criticize, I don't judge women for having kids. So why would I be judged for not having kids? The other thing that I wanted to say, to her is that, but I didn't because it's none of her business. But I wanted to say, listen, I've spent a lot of time. I've invested a lot into my education. I've invested a lot into my career. And I'm happy that way. In my life, that's what works, right? That's what makes me happy. I love coming and going as I please. I don't have to wait on anybody. I don't have to spend money on anybody. Not that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that for me, it works and it makes me happy. I love the fact that I can just get up and go, if I need to. I love the fact that I only have to worry about myself. And believe me, sometimes that's even hard, right? I mean, as a single person in the city of New York, you have to be on the lookout for everything. So I think that if I had a child, well, let me just say this. I think if I had a kid or if I had children, I would be a nervous wreck because the world is so much more different now than when I was growing up. Not to say that when I was growing up it wasn't dangerous and there weren't things that I had to be, careful about, of course. But now I feel like the world is a lot more dangerous. When I was young, you didn't hear things about, child trafficking. or the gangs. Yes, we had gangs when I was young, and things like that. But the way that the world is now, like you turn on the TV, or you check out videos on YouTube, and you see all these atrocities that are happening, around the nation and around the world. And so I think that I would be a nervous wreck if I had children and I had to raise them in this world. I pray that everyone stays safe, that everybody's family is safe. But those are the things that I think about. Whatever's happened, or whatever happens in my health, is nobody's business. Whatever goes on in my head, my mental health, is nobody's business. The decisions that I make is nobody's business. And the only reason why I'm putting this out there in this video and on YouTube and my channel is because I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one that's gotten criticized or shunned. There are cultures out there, and mine included because I'm Latina, that believe that women are born to have kids. That's our main job. But it's a new day, it's a new world, and there's so much more to do. You don't necessarily have to have your own child to be a mom or to be a mother figure, right? But for me, again, I chose not to have children, and I'm okay with that, and I'm happy with my decision. And so I don't know why people keep getting offended. I mean, has that ever happened to you, or do you know somebody who chose not to have children and are experiencing the same thing? I was dating this gentleman not too far back, and that's one of the reasons that he and I connected so well, and that we lasted for so many years, is because we were both on the same page about that. You know, he wasn't interested in having children. I wasn't interested in having children, and so it worked out really well for us. I mean, things happen and people, grow apart and stuff, but you know, he didn't judge me. When I told him, I remember when I first told him that I wasn't interested in having children, I thought he was gonna be like, what's wrong with you? But he was like, oh snap, I can respect that. And I think that his reaction to me saying that, it was like a load off my shoulders, because I feel like every time I say I have no children, or I'm just not interested in having children, I feel that people are gonna, I'm gonna get like a wrath, or people are gonna judge me, and they're gonna have a reaction. And so those are the things that I think about when I meet people. I try not to, like I said in my other videos, I also I'm very reserved. I don't really talk too much about my personal life to folks. Here I am telling you my personal business on YouTube, right, where people can see. But when I meet people at work, or when I go out and I meet people, I don't really tell them my business or my intentions or my most personal secrets, because of that reason. Because not everybody is understanding, not everybody is accepting, and there are judgmental folks out there. But you know what I do? I keep my distance. If I get a negative reaction, I choose not to speak anymore. I change the topic, and I keep it pushing, and I won't bring it up anymore. And I try to stay away from those people, because people that are judgmental usually have an issue with themselves, and they wanna push their, what do you call that? They want to push their issues onto you. I'm just not that person. So that's how I handle it. I mean, if there comes a time where a person is rude, I mean, really rude, yeah, just tell them to mind their business. But I've never experienced that. I've never had to do that. But that's what I would do if somebody was plain rude to me, or said something like out of pocket to me. And thank goodness that I haven't experienced that. And the reason why, people think that, it's so bad that you don't want to have children is because, you're self involved. I've been called selfish. Oh, why are you so selfish? You don't want to have children. And it's not that I'm selfish, it's just that I want to live my life on my terms. How many people can actually say, you know what? I lived my life on my terms and I'm happy with the decisions that I made. I mean, I know a few and I see the happiness in them. They're older folks, they're senior citizens now who said, you know what, Jessica, when I was young, I made decisions, I made mistakes along the way, but the decisions that I wanted to make, I made them. Every single decision was not made for me. I made the decisions in my life. And I'm happy about that because whether I failed or I succeeded, it was my decision. And I take full responsibility for my sorrows or for my happiness. And I want to live that way. I want to grow old. I want to be able to turn around and say, you know what? I'm happy with the life that I chose. I'm happy with my life. I am happy with the woman that I've become. I am happy with the human being that I was on this world. I'm happy about leaving a mark. And leaving a mark not necessarily means that you're going to leave, you know, children behind who are going to follow your footsteps. Leaving a mark on this world means that you are doing something good for the world and other human beings. And so that's what my focus is. I want to be a good human being. And I'd rather be selfish, to be honest with you, as somebody put it. I'd rather be selfish than resentful. Please, let's be for real. Let's be honest. Motherhood is a very difficult thing. It is not easy. I think being a mom is the most difficult role that a woman can assume. And I have to give credit where credit is due. And if I chose to be a mom, I know that I would be a good mom. But I've seen my mom and my aunts and my cousins, like they are awesome moms, but it's also not easy. I've seen them like worry about their kids and I don't know. I take my hat off to the moms because it's just not easy. And you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing human beings. Us women who choose not to have children, who are also awesome. We are brave to say, and we have the courage to say, I'm okay like this. I'm happy with no children in my life. But yeah, so that's where I stand. Yeah, so I hope that people are not too judgmental towards you. And if they are, how do you handle it? What do you do? So yeah, let's look at our book. Let's pick a question, a random question. Let's see. What is your favorite dessert? Oh, my favorite dessert. All things chocolate. I think that my favorite dessert, I don't think that I have a favorite dessert because I have a sweet tooth. I would say one of my favorite desserts would have to be chocolate German cake. That's one of my favorite. I haven't had it in a really long time. Another is, I don't know, chocolate. Anything chocolate. I love chocolate. That is my weakness through and through. My mom is a baker, and so I grew up with the smell of cakes and cupcakes and flan and all that deliciousness in my home. And thank God that she didn't allow us to eat that all the time, because then that wouldn't be good. But my mom makes a banging Dominican cake. I mean, it's just so, oh my goodness, it's just delicious. Oh, it's just delicious. It's very decadent, it's rich, and it's just, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how delicious it is. She makes carrot cake, she makes chocolate cake, she makes flan, she makes Oh, she makes coquito, like all that stuff. Yeah, I grew up with that stuff in my home, so I know very well what the dessert tastes like. But yeah, my favorite dessert would have to be the German chocolate cake. Um, what is your favorite dessert? So thank you for joining me tonight, spending some time with me. I will see you tomorrow with another topic. And if you want to talk about a specific topic, just put it in the comments below and we'll talk about it. We'll chat about it. So have a good night and we'll see you next time.